I've always been culturally attuned to movies and TV shows and music from other countries. I mean, just going way, way back to like 15 plus years ago. I'd watched a great horror movie, Asian horror called Junk, which is like a cross between a bank heist film and zombies being held up in a warehouse trying to escape the wrath of them. And I'd watched like Spanish horror festivals, and of course, like some of the great French horror movies, such as Martyrs, which is absolutely insane. I mean, don't even bother watching the USA remake; just watch the original French version, whether it's dubbed or, of course, subtitled. But and of course, we got Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, which many of you are aware of. But one thing that's never really caught on mainstream is like Japan metal. I mean, in the United States, it is really not as well known unless you're watching like an anime like Soul Eater and watch the outro, and then you have like evident schoolboys as the outro there. But we're gonna play a game called Perfect Performer, the Yellow Monkey with the HD Extreme Core, and this is a great, great band called Yellow Monkey. I mean, you'll see little references to like the Golden Yellow Monkey, etc., and other games such as Ape Escape and etc. But this is a band called Yellow Monkey, and over there in Japan, it's as well known as like bands over here in the United States, like Live, Pearl Jam, etc. But we don't know this band here. I mean, you might have heard this band on something like Song Pop if you're like playing Facebook, etc. But I'd actually intentionally pick like the J-pop and K-pop and all that crazy stuff, and these are songs that are just not as well known over here, but it's crazy awesome for the music in general. Even taking like the introduction to Sword Art Online, it's so damn awesome. I love these things. So yes, you typically hear these like in an anime or in like a horror movie you watch like Junk, etc. But they're not as well known over here. I mean, but Martyrs, fun horror movie, and let's talk about high beats per minute here. Just think of 160 beats per minute, KMFDM style. I'm gonna pick, you'll hear what I mean. I'm gonna pick drums there. Right there, when I was just doing it, that's like low beats per minute. But when I do this, check this out. This is high beats per minute. That's like how most KMFDM songs start out. And only somebody like Mike Portney, I could think, could ever pull it off on real drums, right? I mean, there's so many great drummers out there, but he's one of the best for Dream Theater, Transatlantic, and of course, Fox Beard, Neumorphs, all that fun stuff. But we'll do a little entry here. And those of you who know KMFDM, as a band, I actually got into them from watching movies like Hideaway, the great adaptation of a Dinar Kunz book, to film with, of course, Jeff Goldblum of Jurassic Park fame and The Fly earlier. I mean, Fly with Gina Davis was another fun movie, but it came FDM here for the win. And also Hellraiser 3, the great Clive Barker adaptation. I mean, one of my favorite Clive Barker adaptations is actually Midnight Meat Train, and that's a great, crazy horror movie if you ever want something that's pretty sadistic. And there's a very, very well-known actor that you're going to recognize from Hangover in it before he really became big. And he did the remake of Stars Born with Lady Gaga, which actually was quite good of a movie. I mean, I didn't think it would be that great, but I gave it a shot. Fun stuff. I'm not going to talk as much. I want you to be able to hear this awesome music, but it plays a little bit like Prapper Rapper with Kick Punch, all that fun stuff. One thing I have to say, though, is that yesterday's music is today's music. So 20 years ago, this music here sounds like Billboard hits from last year, and this music 20 years ago sounded like 20 years ago music preceding that, which would be an example, Blondie's Atomic. Very, very catchy music, though. I'm really enjoying this. Another thing is, I do not know the lyrics to songs at all. I know the melody and the harmony. I mean, just take somebody like Kurt Cobain, who is really, really prominent in Nirvana. He made sure his songs were infectious grooves, and that was a fun band as well. But he tried to keep things very, very simple, so they were actually like kind of the opposite of like progressive rock, like which is one of my favorite genres. He tried to make songs very, very catchy. I mean, one of those songs that'll stick in your head no matter what, like Baby Shark. Yes, Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit was like the Baby Shark in the day, but grunge style. But Yellow Monkey Transmission VJ Remix, it's kind of funny because you get an app on your phone nowadays where you can add filters and such to it. This stuff was already possible with the DVD and, of course, CD media format 20 years ago. Let's check it out for yourself here. So people are like showcasing all these crazy filters. And I'm doing this in a game from 20 years ago. How funny is that? But if you stay tuned at the very end of this video, I mean, I was inspired enough to do basically a drum session to Evidence Schoolboys, who did, of course, a song called Strength, which is the outro to, of course, the great anime called Soul Eater. One of the funnest, I'm going to say fun, it's not really a real word, but one of the most fun. But you can hold left, right, up, and down, and if you have like a kid who just can't keep his himself still, give him the controller, let him play around with these filters. Like, I can hold left here, push the square button, there you go. But not bad music. I mean, I actually enjoy this. I found many of these bands fun, like Baby Metal is fun, X Japan, Bucktick, Evidence Schoolboys, and of course Yellow Monkey. I mean, what other Japan metal style bands do you know of? And those of you who ran into me on Facebook when I was playing like Song Pop a few years ago, you have absolutely hated me because I'd pick categories like J-Pop, K-Pop, and J-Metal, and K-Metal. So I would have bands like this show up, and I'd know who they are, but you'd be screwed like, oh geez, this ain't Leonard Skinner. Oh, that's kind of cool. But yes, you can do these filters like 20 years later on, of course, your phone. Yay, for only $800 more than this 20, 30 US dollar game was back then. We got our like horror filter, type of filter you see in like a horror movie where they're in hostel. And like you have the crazy serial killer coming in. And then you have like the camera going to a dark screen and lighting up only with like a black light and such. But let me know what your favorite horror movie and all that fun stuff is. I mean, just going back to like a manga like Battle Royale, which was like 2004. We had movies like a certain movie called No Escape with Ray Liotta way back, which was similar to that. And of course we had Condemned with Stone Cold Steve Austin. And more currently, movies such as Hunger Games. Yes, these are all inspired by the same thing. And you go back even further, it'd be like Lord of the Flies and Most Dangerous Games. So it all goes back full circle, like 5 degrees or 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon, so to speak. And even Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis. Kevin Bacon did Stir of Echoes, which is basically a similar spin-off of that style of genre with the end twist. But they were both fun movies for their own merits alone. But hope you enjoyed the video. There'll be more to come.